I just got back from a week aboard Royal Caribbean's OASIS of the Seas. It was my first time on OASIS. I've sailed with Royal Caribbean many times, and I love these OASIS-class ships, especially the entertainment. It was a solo cruise. I had a great week, although there were a couple of medical emergencies aboard that fortunately turned out just fine. Today I'm going to walk you through my week. We're going to visit Perfect Day on Coco Cay, take a look at Labadee in Haiti. I'm going to show you everything that I saw, everything I did aboard OASIS of the Seas, a good look at the entertainment, and what my week was like. So, let's get started. This was our itinerary. It was a 7-day cruise in and out of Miami. We visited Nassau, their private island of Coco Cay. We had a sea day. We visited their private island of Labadee in Haiti. We went to Falmouth, Jamaica, and then we had a sea day for our final day. We boarded in Miami. It was a rainy day. It turned into a very rainy day, but fortunately, that was the only day of bad weather that we had all week. Boarding was smooth and easy. It was fun to sail out of Miami, to go down to that bridge and do the turnaround. And it was fun to just get aboard and begin exploring this OASIS-class ship. I've been aboard Allure of the Seas many times. Symphony of the Seas is my favorite cruise ship of all time, and I was anxious to see what OASIS of the Seas had to offer. This ship was built in 2007, and it was refurbished in 2019. It was great to go on the Promenade. That was my first stop because that's the deck we walked onto. People were walking around with their carry-ons and looking around. It's always fun to see which car each ship has. The Royal Caribbean ships with promenades have different cars in them. This had a beautiful stretch car with 2 teddy bears in it. I took a look around, went to my cabin, dropped off my luggage. I was on the 14th floor in cabin 14181. This was a Central Park balcony cabin. I'd never tried one of these before. Turns out it had a beautiful view, especially at night, like I'm showing you right here. So much fun to sit out on the balcony in the evening. There usually was jazz music playing down below. Very relaxing and very quiet and very comfortable. Now let me just say, if you're looking for a ship review of OASIS of the Seas where I go through all the venues and talk about all of the things, that video will be on my channel soon, so look for that. But getting back to my cruise, I decided to have lunch in the Solarium Bistro. This is an adults-only area with some hot tubs and small pools. The Solarium Bistro is open to families, but the solarium itself is just for adults. You can see it's a beautiful area here. Lots of seating, lots of lounges facing the windows, a very popular place during the day. I visited the shops. I love to visit shops on cruise ships and see what they have. I went to the casino and looked around. I played a few slot machines. And then I went out to Boardwalk to wait for the Aqua 80 show to start, and this is by far my favorite form of entertainment on a Royal Caribbean ship. The Aqua shows are not to be missed. Now, unfortunately, our Aqua show was canceled that first night because it was still quite windy and the ship was rocking quite a bit. This was absolutely the best and safest decision to make. So I had an early night and went to bed and rested up, and looked forward to day 2, our day in Nassau, Bahamas. Now, in full disclosure, I'm not usually a fan of Nassau in the Bahamas. I've been here many times. I'm not a beach person. I don't like to go to bars. So there's not a lot here in Nassau for me to do personally that I want to get off the ship for. However, Nassau has reinvented their port. They built an entirely new port plaza area, and I wanted to get off the ship and go check that out. I love looking at cruise ships, so I stopped to take pictures and video of different cruise ships. There were several in port with us that day. The new port area in Nassau is very nice. I highly recommend, if you are someone who just wants to get off the ship, walk around for an hour or so, see a few things, buy a few souvenirs, maybe go to the Junkanoo Museum, have a drink, have something local to eat. This is a great place to do that. You don't have to go straight out into the heart of Nassau if you don't want to. The straw market is across the street from the port plaza. I will have a more detailed video about this port on my channel. So I stayed in the port plaza area for about an hour, Looked around, looked in all the shops, enjoyed myself, and then I was back on ship, ready to spend the day enjoying Oasis of the Seas. Oasis of the Seas has a beautiful pool deck, as do all the Oasis class ships. Oasis has 4 pools, a main pool, a beach pool, a sports pool, and then a kids zone kind of splash area. It has 10 hot tubs. They also have some water slides here. The Perfect Storm, it's made up of Cyclone, Typhoon, and Supercell, 3 individual slides. And there is so much to do on this pool deck. Too much to go into detail here in this particular video. But as I said, I will have a ship review on my channel soon, detailing everything on board. One of the things I did that afternoon was ride the Abyss. This is an amazing slide. It's several stories high, and it's a curly slide that takes you all the way from the pool deck down to Boardwalk. It's not as scary as it looks, and it was great fun. I had lunch at El Loco Fresh. This is a place on board that serves burritos, quesadillas, tacos, really good food, very crowded and popular, but you can get through the line fairly quickly. Visited Sugar Beach for dessert. This is a candy shop on Boardwalk. And aside from candy, they also sell gelato. All in all, between enjoying the pool deck and snacking my way around the ship, the day passed very quickly. And that evening, we got to have our Aqua Theater show. If you're new to Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships, each one has an aqua theater and a different aqua show. On Oasis of the Seas, it's called Aqua 80. The music here is iconic 1980s music. The whole audience was clapping and singing along. And what a variety these aqua shows have. For one thing, they have high diving and amazing acrobatics. They have wonderful dancing, extraordinary effects with lighting and water. Take a look at some of these amazing stunts and incredible dancing. This is a show with a lot of energy, a lot of variety. It's a very popular favorite show. You do need reservations to come to this show, so make sure you get those ahead of time. If you don't have reservations, you can get in the standby line. I will speak from personal experience and tell you, if you sit in the front row, you will get drenched. So keep that in mind. Maybe take a seat somewhere further back, but there is no bad seat in this whole theater. This is an amazing show. Do not miss it. And that brings us to our next day, our perfect day at Coco Cay. If you're new to Royal Caribbean, they have their own private island called Coco Cay. This is an all-day experience where we dock early in the morning. They stay until about sunset. And this is mainly an opportunity to get out and spend the day on the beach. They have several bars here, and they have different beaches here, so depending on what mood you're in and where you want to be, you can choose your beach appropriately. Aside from beaches and bars, they have some shopping. They have a zip line and a water park available. These are substantial extra fees, but those are available. You can walk around the island and just sightsee, and there is a tram here to take you back and forth around the island because it is quite a bit of a walk, so if you get tired of walking, you can hop on the tram. I spent the entire day at Coco Cay just hanging out, enjoying the sun, doing a little shopping, and then it was back on board for dinner and a show. The show that night was called One Sky. This was shown in the Royal Theater. It's an original show full of singing and dancing. All the songs are centered around airplanes and aviation. This was not the most favorite show I've ever seen on a cruise ship. However, this was an amazingly talented cast, incredible dancing, incredible singing, great visuals. I wrapped up the evening by listening to jazz on my balcony from Central Park. And then I went to bed and prepared for the next day. Brought us to one of my favorite days of all, a sea day. Now, one of the reasons I cruise the Caribbean despite not really being a beach person is to experience time on the cruise ship. The Oasis class ships are my favorite. There's so much to do, and sea days are the best days to get out there and enjoy the ship. I spent a lot of the morning up by the flow rider watching everybody learn how to use it. There were a lot of pros here showing us all kinds of stunts. And of course, regular people like myself who fell down often. I did some zip lining. Yes, you can zip line on an Oasis class ship, including OASIS of the Seas. Very fun, very quick, not as scary as it looks. Also on the sports deck, there is rock climbing. Now, this is a little scary if you're afraid of heights. It can get quite intimidating, but worth trying if you want to. I spent the day exploring the ship, lying by the pool, watching the people on the flow rider. I went back to the promenade and walked around. There were some more sails popping up for the day. I had mocktails by the pool. We were able to catch a rehearsal of the performers from the Aqua Theater show. And then I had dinner at Portside Barbecue. That evening, I just happened to end up in the elevator with the stowaway piano player. This is a feature on the Oasis class ships. This piano player's name is Francesco Pepe, and he was phenomenal. He was an outstanding musician. He was in the elevator most nights for about an hour at a time. He was sometimes in front of Adventure Ocean, Boardwalk, or Central Park. But how fun is it to walk into an elevator and find a piano player there, just playing the most beautiful music you ever heard? I finished the night off with a little time in the casino, walking around the promenade just a little bit more, and then I ended the evening by going over to Spotlight Karaoke Lounge and listening to some karaoke. All in all, a terrific sea day. One of the best reasons to cruise are those long sea days where you get to enjoy the ship. I went to bed and prepared for our next day, our day in Labadee, Haiti. Labadee is a private place owned by Royal Caribbean. We were not able to go out into Haiti in general. We docked in Haiti so that we could spend the day at Labadee. The day started off beautifully, but unfortunately, a couple of bad things happened right away. I'm only sharing them here because everything worked out just fine. First of all, early in the morning, there was an Oscar, which is a call for man overboard. There were 2 employees of Royal Caribbean cleaning the hull of the ship, and they capsized their little ship and went into the water. They were rescued and were just fine. Moments later, as we were all disembarking for our day, a helicopter arrived to take away a passenger who had a medical emergency. Later that afternoon at 3 o'clock, the helicopter returned to take away a crew member who had an emergency as well. Now, the captain did come on our stateroom TVs later. He assured us that both of those people were taken to Florida and both of them were just fine and going to fully recover. So that was an eventful start to our day, but once the helicopter left that morning, we all went off ship and I set out to enjoy my day in Labadee. Much like Coco Cay, Labadee is a day that you have the opportunity to spend on the beach. Labadee has different beaches and they're all very nice in their own way. There's a lot to do here. It feels very different than Coco Cay. It's a lot more windy, it's a lot more rugged. And one of the most fun things to do here is to watch people zip line out over the ocean. There are walking trails off into the trees and up cliffs. There are places to look out at your ship and get some great pictures. There is some shopping here. There is a marketplace. There are port excursions offered here with boat rides and things like that. I spent the day on the beach. I watched the zipliners for quite a while. I went for a very long walk, and then I went back on the ship for another evening of dinner and entertainment. Nightlife on Oasis of the Seas was terrific. There was always a lot to do. They had a big show every night, either ice skating show, the Aqua Theater show, or Big Sky. There was live music everywhere you went. Boleros had dancing. I stopped off at the Globe and Atlas. They had live music here, which was just terrific. I had dinner at Playmakers that night. This is one of my favorite places on an Oasis class ship. This is bar food like sliders, nachos, wings. ice skating show. Now, I just love the ice skating shows on Royal Caribbean. I have to say, this particular ice show I felt was not all that great. The cast was amazing, but the choreography, the songs, not that interesting, not that dynamic. And also, let me point out that the footage I'm showing you here is not footage from the show I saw. We were not allowed to take video of that particular show. I'm using stock footage here from a different ice skating show. I just want to let you know there is an ice skating show aboard, and they're usually terrific. Nice to see Central Park lit up at night as well and listen to the music. I went to bed and prepared for our next day, our day in Jamaica. I don't have a lot to share about our day in Jamaica, so I'll keep this brief. Jamaica was under a level 3 travel advisory when we went. There was a warning from the government about crimes in Jamaica. And beyond that, there were no port excursions I was particularly interested in. I came on this cruise to enjoy the ship, not necessarily get off in port, and Jamaica was no different. I enjoyed seeing Jamaica from the deck of the ship, but I had no plans to get off. I treated the day like a sea day and just enjoyed the pool, the hot tub, all of those things, and then I went to the spa for a massage in the afternoon, which was wonderful. I visited the Vitality Cafe, which is next to the spa. It's a juice bar that also makes smoothies and serves fruit and homemade granola and things like that. I spent a little time in my cabin just relaxing and sleeping and just having a really wonderful, nice, beautiful day. We were the only ship in port that day, and when we left, the DJ by the shops played us out over his loudspeaker, and it was really nice. We rolled out of Jamaica around 5 o'clock, and that evening, I went to a second performance of the Aqua Show, because you just can't see the Aqua Show too many times. It was just as good as the first time. I loved every minute of it. The final day of the cruise was another sea day. I treated this sea day much the same as all the other sea days. Enjoyed the pools. I rode the water slides. Let me tell you, these are some great water slides. Very fun, and the line usually moves quickly. I spent the day on the pool deck. We had wonderful weather. I walked around Promenade, looked at the final sails, took some final pictures, had snacks at Cafe Promenade. I watched people ice skating inside Studio B. This is something that's offered throughout the cruise. In the afternoon, there was a parade on the promenade for families. This was especially great for small children. Very fun theme, lots of pretty costumes, lots of music. A quick visit to Vista Cafe for a smoothie. Taking in the sun on Boardwalk. My favorite place on all of the Oasis class ships is Boardwalk. There's just something about it that's just charming and fun. There was a family carnival here in the afternoon, and Boardwalk got very crowded very fast. But they were giving away cotton candy, they had cupcakes, they had music and face painting, some balloon animals being given out. All in all, a beautiful way to end the day. I came back to Boardwalk at sunset, looked around a little bit more, and I even rode the carousel. Yes, you can ride the carousel even as an adult, and I do it all the time when I travel on an Oasis class ship. I got to hear the stowaway piano player Francesco Pepe one more time. I went to dinner at Izumi. This was a lot of fun. Went back up to the flow rider to watch people using the flow rider and to watch the sunset. And just packed up my bags and got ready to leave. All in all, it was a terrific cruise, a very relaxing cruise. My goal for this cruise was to just go circle the Caribbean, enjoy the ship, enjoy warm weather, beautiful blue water, beautiful blue skies, and just have a nice vacation. And that is exactly what this vacation delivered. OASIS of the Seas is a very nice ship. Is she the newest, most sparkling ship in all of Royal Caribbean? No. but she doesn't feel old, she doesn't feel outdated. So much entertainment here, so many dining choices. If you're in the mood for a ship where you can relax and also have plenty of things to do right at your fingertips, great entertainment in the evening, plenty of dining choices, lots of live music, and lots of room to just spread out, this is the ship for you. I will have a full ship review on my channel soon, so look for that. But thank you for sticking in for this nice long video and going on my cruise with me. Had a great time, and I definitely enjoyed Coco Cay and Labadee as well. That wraps up this video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and enjoy your next cruise. Bye-bye.